Hi, I'm Jenna, an upholsterer and designer, and today I'm going to take this thrifted Tallboy table and turn it into a statement piece. You might recognize this table from a restaurant or bar. What I'm going to do today is add wood rounds to the base, paint it, and turn it into a postmodern masterpiece, perfect for that cocktail at home. All right, let's deconstruct this baby. It's really hard. I just made a makeshift workbench with 2 scrap pieces of wood. You want to use scraps because we're going to be boring holes through the 10-inch wood rounds, and we're most likely going to go through the rounds, and you don't want to damage a nice piece of wood if you don't have to. This is one of the 10-inch wood rounds that we're going to be boring a hole into and putting around the base of the Tallboy today. You can get these at various hobby craft stores and also online. We're going to clamp it down to the makeshift workbench with the 2 scraps of plywood. Now you're going to take your tape measure and you're going to measure down the center of each wood round and mark the very middle. There we go. Now we're going to take the hole saw with the bit that's going to act as an arbor. You're going to put the arbor directly in the center of the wood round, and then let's drill. One down, more to go. You've got all of the holes bored into the 10-inch wood rounds. Now it's time to start assembling the Tallboy table. It's time to have some fun. We're going to start assembling our new and improved Tallboy table base. We have these 4-inch size PVC couplers that we're going to pair with the 10-inch wood rounds that we've already bored the holes into. Now that we have assembled all of the 4-inch couplers with the wood rounds, we're going to put the Tallboy table top back into place, which will miraculously center out the top PVC. And then we'll just have to slowly move these, center it within the 10-inch wood round. So sexy. It's time to caulk around all of these seams between the coupler and the wood round. We're going to be using a fast dry latex caulk that's specifically made for painting projects. For those of you that have never used a caulk gun, we're going to put the tip just right along the seam itself, and you want to move pretty quickly because you don't want to get a bunch of caulk in one location. You want to get it around the seam as quick as possible. Just going to start on the bottom and work our way up. As you can see, I'm going around the top of the seam first, and then we'll work our way back down and do the underneath seam. Now we're going to take one of your baby wipes. We're just going to go counterclockwise around this seam itself. And then what I like to do, as you notice, we didn't do this seam or the underneath seams. I don't want to waste all of this product, so we're actually just going to take what's on the wet wipe and go around the seam itself. You want to work quickly, because again, this is fast drying. I mean, definitely time is of the essence. And you don't want to leave any excess, because what it looks like is how it dries. So if there's any extra or a bump or a crease you don't like in the latex, you definitely want to wipe until it's smooth. Most of the seams are looking pretty good, but we do have some trouble areas that I need to go back and add some more caulk to. So let's do that right now. You see this cluster of caulk right there? You don't want to leave that. You want to get the seam as smooth as possible, hence why we're using the wet baby wipes. So we're going to go right around there, You just want to put light pressure. You don't want to move the wood round or the PVC coupler. So we're just smoothing it out. If you don't have baby wipes, you can just get paper towels and wet them, but paper towels tear really easily, so I really, really suggest that you get some baby wipes. Work smarter, not harder, right? You want to make sure to wipe off any excess product from the PVC pipe. Try to clean it as best as possible, getting all of the caulking smooth. This is a fun project. I'm excited. Now that we've caulked all the seams, we're going to allow it to dry for 20 minutes and then come back to prime. Caulk is dried. Now we're going to move this bad boy away from the house to avoid any overspray. All right, it's time to prime. I've got my paint sprayer primed and ready to go with water. The reason I am using a paint sprayer for this particular project is because of all of the little nooks and crannies. For this project, we're using a specific primer that's made for multiple surfaces, wood, plastic, and metal. Pour the primer directly into your bucket. Got my prime station all set up and ready to go. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. All right, that is looking really good. Right now I'm checking for any unprimed areas, drips, because what you see is what you get, and this is one of the most important steps when you're painting. The primer sets you up for success. So there's a couple wood rounds here that are a little bare. Wood tends to soak up primer. So you want to get a little extra on the wood, making sure not to get too much in one area because you don't want any drips. When you're using the paint sprayer, if you do have any drip marks, don't touch it. Just leave it. Let it dry as is. And you can always go back with a razor blade and cut the drip away, but do not mess with it while it's wet. You're just asking for Murphy's Law to just keep messing up everything that you've just done, and you don't want that to happen. So see a drip, leave it, let it dry, and then cut it away with the razor blade. Right here. Sun helped dry the primer to the touch. It is good to go for paint. It's red. That's right, I match. For furniture painting projects, I never use a flat paint. Personal preference, I usually go for a semi-gloss, but you could go with a satin, semi-gloss, high gloss. Just stay away from your flat. Right, you want to walk around the furniture piece and look for any areas where you still see the gray primer. You want to get a nice coat of the red. All right, now we've got the primer completely covered in this beautiful red hue, and we're gonna let it dry. If you love this project, click like below, and for more thrift flips, follow HGTV.